Hey guys, Solus here. Today we're going to go through a follow-up to my Mars video I made about 2 months ago. First of all, thank you guys so much for almost 30,000 views on this project. The project took so long because I had to learn Blender to show you the unused map in its textured, lit, and honestly more cinematic state. About a month before this video was posted, I made a server for a Destiny 2 out-of-bounds community called Singularity, and once this video popped off, I got to meet a lot of great people. One of those people I met, his name is David. Remember that name for later. David had one message and one goal in mind. He saw my Mars project and said he wanted to finish what I started. David had game design experience on Unreal Engine 5. The way David saw it was with his experience in game design and my experience with Blender and the unused Mars map. We could collaborate to make something that's not just able to be viewed, but played. Something you can walk around in and tangibly interact with. Something only he could do with his skill set.
Hello there.
Hello.
Thus embarking us on a 2-month journey on a collaborative process to get this map into a playable state. Like I said, all this work was done by David. He has his profile linked here and his YouTube channel linked here. None of this would have been done without him and one other person, Skinny Cheese It, who helped create a cave that linked the dead forest to Charlemagne's vault. We're going to walk through all of it today. I'm going to put chapters in the video as well as timestamps right here. I'll also be adding a load zone name, just like how Destiny does when you hit a different load zone. So, without further ado, let's dive into the playable version of Dead Forest. Booting up the pack, you might notice 2 other names as well, Shard and Sunken. If you know about these, then you already know the mystery surrounding them, but we'll save those for a later date. Today, we're focusing on Mars. Wait, this is D1. This isn't the one David made. What happened to the file? What happened to all the work, all the time and effort? And oh, all right. Well, let's get into it. We're starting our journey from the door in Rubicon Wastes. This is how it looks in-game, and this is how it would look if we were able to explore this area. To hit the next load zone into Dead Forest, we're going to have to go through this tunnel. Once through the tunnel, you'll see you have 2 options to go explore. One to your left, which leads to Charlemagne's vault, and the other, right, which leads to the Dead Forest. We're going to go to the vault first. In the unused Mars file, this cave does not exist. There's actually no connecting pathways that lead to Charlemagne's vault. This was the cave that Skinny Cheese It worked on, in collaboration with David. This vault has got to be one of my favorite places to explore in the Unreal Engine 5 version of this map. David added a very neat touch with Charlemagne's vault here that I think you'll like. Listen closely.
Oublier le temps des malentendus étant perdu à savoir comment oublier ces heures qui tuaient parfois à coup de pourquoi cœur.
Based on the idea of Rasputin listening to Russian music, Charlemagne being a French name, David added a touch of French music to add some ambiance into this vault. With the relaxing piano notes, sit back as we explore this beautiful vault. through the other exit of the cave leads us directly to the drill. Like I mentioned in Remnants of Mars, this map eventually became Io. Most might remember the massive drill on Io that would lead to the Warmind vault directly below the drill. This drill was an early concept of just that. This area up here is gotta be the most unfinished of it all. This tube here was either known as Wadi or Shield, and this tube would lead directly to the area where you get the Eye of the Gate Lord on Mars. David had one more trick up his sleeve. He added sparrows into this Mars map. Let's hop back on our tuning fork and head over to the Dead Forest. Just like the concept art of D1 Mars Dead Forest, you have these massive tree trunks that you can walk right through. Another nice touch that David added to the skybox was Phobos, all the way out in orbit. It looks very close, but I can assure you, it's quite far away. I'll pin a video up top of one of my buddies in Singularity, Runelli, who actually managed to sparrow fly all the way to Phobos. That sparrow flight took 30 plus minutes just to reach. Starting our journey back from the tunnel, instead of going left, we're gonna go right this time and head through this broken blast door. You'll see a lot of dead Cabal in the ground, which is great visual storytelling for the area we're about to go to, being more Vex themed. This blast door that's open here would actually have opened in the game. My buddy Gerbsnail, who does great Blender work, actually animated that for this video. I'll go ahead and show it to you now. This cave in the Dead Forest is what's going to lead you to the Pyramidion. We're gonna walk through this second pass-through, we reach the Pyramidion. This area is pretty barren, but just like Io, there's two entrances. One at the bottom, where the strike would be, and the second up top. What's neat to note is that neither of these areas were actually finished in Destiny 1. However, the pathing is virtually the same, but more simplified. You'll see that later, especially when we go through the bottom entrance. We're making our way up to the top entrance. People who played D2 Vanilla Red War campaign might actually recognize this pathing. While it's not exactly the same, this pathing is eerily similar to the one you'd take on Io's Pyramidion. As you can see, we have a portal down below. I won't spoil the surprise, so we'll just have to walk through it and see where it leads us. As you can see, the portal leads directly to the descent of the Pyramidion. This area I also like to call the start of the Pyramidion. Although it's not confirmed, this area would most likely have led you all the way into the final area of the strike or raid, depending on what the Pyramidion here was meant to be. We're going to hop on our Sparrow and head down the descent. It's quite a long drive down. What you'll probably recognize the most here is just the geometric patterns. A lot of this was used for the Pyramidion's skybox when you got inside of it for the strike. The biggest difference here is that there's these Rasputin diamond-shaped doors. There's 4 to be exact. With the Mars sand creeping in, this idea of buried remains. And now, on to our final stop of this journey, the lower hexahedron of the Pyramidion. Although the shapes are more basic in their geometry, the pathing is almost virtually the same as D2's Io Pyramidion. I will say, this area is just awe-inspiring. I'm going to take a major backseat to narrating till the end of the video, because I want you to grasp the sheer size, scale, and magnitude of this place. As I explored this area and its finality, it took all of our creative minds, Gerbsnails, myself, Cheez-It, and David, to come together and make something that can be enjoyed by the community. And I hope you enjoyed watching it as we walked through this entire space. If you'd like to learn more about this map, and Out of Bounds in general, go ahead and join the Singularity Discord. I have a lot more projects on the way, and more Remnants of series. But, as always, take care everybody.